Yeah, it's all right. Welcome, everyone. Pine Grove News Live. Almost time to write. 6:01 p.m. here in the East Coast. And January 29th already. And it's 33 degrees here in northern Connecticut. Excuse me, in southern New England. I don't know, man. What's in the air today? Well, you heard the song that I was playing in the intro, Poison Ivy. Just trying to be funny about all this. That's about what everything is in the news, right? Coronavirus and impeachment. They got us pretty much distracted. Yeah, you'll see in a couple of these headlines, these clips that, people are definitely distracted by all this. So, in my notes today let's go with SpaceX. I wonder if you knew this about SpaceX. Well, first, I got to put this out there and I got to go check, see if we're live on YouTube. And apparently we are. And that is PGN Live. That's how you get there on YouTube. That's it. That's all you got to do. So let's, I wanted to remind you about this, but the notes. Let's go with the notes. SpaceX, okay? SpaceX. Apparently, they had another launch today, and on that rocket, I mean, it's got to be a huge rocket, right? It had 60 satellites. Obviously, they can't be very big, but it's part of this network that we've been talking about for a while, that they want to beam down this 5 or 6G into, collectors on the ground and then beam them out to your house. Yeah, beaming technology. Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up. In total, up there right now from this SpaceX Elon Musk thing. Total right now, they have 240 of these satellites up there. And what they want in a total, they want 700 in total to do this, whatever they're going to do. Beam it into your head, or at least beam it into the collectors first, then beam it into your head. Yeah, and obviously, this thing is still highly debated process, this 5G stuff. But yeah, we've heard all kinds of stories, where they were testing, in certain places, birds, animals, whatever were in the trees around, just, keeled over, died. And we've put up plenty of stories out there about, children in schools, firemen in firehouses, wherever they're putting these towers in close proximity. Okay, and some of these towers, they can spread out to 20 miles. Now, I don't know about the ones we got here. If they can spread out to 20 miles, they wouldn't have two within 2 miles of me. So I really don't know what's going on with that one, but that is the radius of these towers, 20-mile radius. Yep, supposedly they'll be able to tell whether you have a handgun in your pocket or whatever, or a knife. They can tell these things. It's like getting x-rays. Yeah, microwaved. Anyway, man, this world is just, in a deep moral and decline. I mean, we are talking about this more at home. That's the good thing that I wanted to, say about that anyway. I'm mentioning it more, and I'm finding out that people are, aware of these things more. These, the technology that we got out there. And of course, my daughter was talking about, what was it? testing men or women, and finding out whether they're related to each other, because she thinks that that's one of the reasons that you get all these defects in some of these newborns, is because you just don't know who you may be related to in one way or another. Anyways, I thought it was it was a concern of hers anyway, rightfully so. But it's not that her husband is in any way related to us, but she thinks that should be considered before you get married, some kind of blood test to do that. Because we were talking about the CRISPR, changing DNA and manipulating things, being able to pick out your baby, blue-eyed, blonde hair, or brown-eyed, blue hair. I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess they can do that now. And, I'm sure they'll want a lot of money for it too, but in any case. So, what else have we learned? One other thing, and the impeachment thing's still going on. It just irritates me, to go watch it. I just, this guy Schiff, he keeps showing up. I thought he was all done with his speaking, because he irritates me just like Hillary Clinton does, or just a picture of Obama. It just irritates me. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a spiritual thing. Maybe I'm sensing something about them. I don't know. And I know other people, have the same feeling, or whatever you call it, intuition or spiritual awareness of something's wrong. And maybe that's how it's telling you, this irritation. Anyways, that's a synopsis anyway. It's just my opinion. I don't know if it's true or not. And of course, I can continually pray for it. I think I know. I mean, at least myself, that's what it is. I mean, I get irritated for other reasons that are not spiritually, or well, could be spiritually, but just in the opposite direction. Yeah. I know what it is. It's an attack. It comes on suddenly. I mean, I could be, fellowshipping with the people I know online, talking to them, and we, all conversing. The Holy Spirit's in there, and we're just worshiping, and then things get over. You step aside. You go back into, this world, the reality that we have to live in, and just I don't know, you just get irritated very easily after that. I don't know what it is with me, but just think it's an attack that I don't know. Looking for ways to, throw those darts at us and make us uncomfortable and create the chaos that's all around the world right now. So we did this. Let me show you this first. This is that chart, right? This is the chart that I put out there on Monday, because it is Wednesday now. Remember that chart? This is the Wuhan coronavirus 2019 global cases. Okay. And on Monday, I believe it was 2,100 or 2,800 cases confirmed total. Okay. And it was, we heard it was like 81 deaths. And right now, 2 days later, it's almost tripled. You got 6,165 as total confirmed. That's confirmed. And it is now up to, 133 dead. We only have 126 recovered. So a big gap here. I mean, what happened to the other, cases? Are they still in the process of recovering, or are they in the process of declining? So I hope you all know that the incubation period can last, well, the CDC came out today and had their briefing, And I will give you that link as well because I listened to that. I'll play it just for a minute or two. Let me go. I got to go switch something first on the mixer so that you can hear it on Mixler anyway. You'll be able to hear it in the video that I recorded, and you should be able to hear it live on YouTube. But yeah, 2 to 14 day incubation period. So in any case, you know, you don't know who you're talking to that may be carrying this for 2 to 14 days, man. They could have it. You don't know, and you won't find out until you get it. This is a big problem. We all know that. But anyways, let's just listen to the first minute or so of this CDC update, and then we'll just go to something else.
Today's press conference aims to do two things: provide an overview of what we know about the current novel coronavirus outbreak, and highlight some of what HHS and the entire Trump administration are doing to prepare for and respond to that threat. Today, I'm joined by Dr. Robert Redfield, Director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Nancy of our top public health experts. First, let me provide a brief update on the situation. As of today, the CDC has reported 5 cases of the novel coronavirus infection here in the United States. China has now reported more than 4,500 cases. Americans should know that this is a potentially very serious public health threat. But at this point, Americans should not worry for their own safety. This is a very fast-moving, constantly changing situation. Dr. Redfield and Dr. Fauci will walk through some more details of the current situation and response. Part of the risk we face right now is that we don't yet know everything we need to know about this virus. But I want to emphasize, that does not prevent us from preparing and responding. We have the experience of responding to 2 earlier coronaviruses that emerged to cause serious illness in people, SARS and MERS. And we have experience responding to bird flu outbreaks in Asia. One challenge with an emerging virus like this, our current assessments are based on an uncertain denominator.
Yeah, anyways, I find the first beginning of this pretty boring. But in any case, it's 46 minutes, 47 seconds long. Listen to it. I had time today to listen while I was working. You know, it's just a vocals, and I mean audio. It's not a video, so you can listen to it while you need to do other things. Just an update, something that we shouldn't worry about. Well, I want to go point something out here, okay? Besides the fact that, let's see, coronavirus medic claims China is lying as 100,000 people are infected. And I just want you to know that where this comes from, okay? The Daily Star. That's kind of like we've mentioned this before. There's a couple other places that we go to, like the Daily Mail, that also, they have these chilling headlines, and it ends up, being something totally different in the content of the article. So just, go and read, use your own discernment. But in any case, I mean, there's a lot of people that are saying that China has lied before. They're probably lying now. It's probably a lot worse. Seen videos today that were, taken by phone. And one of them I thought was pretty eerie. I mean, it was in the city, some city. I really don't know what city it was in. Maybe we'll come across it through this news, but it was eerie because that's all you heard was these people on the phone kind of howling out just loud noises, in the night, almost like a wolf would in the background. And then, then you could hear somebody across the city do the same thing. I mean, that's how quiet, locked down they are. and you can hear them in the background. It's just very eerie. I mean, maybe it was done for that reason, but that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. I wanted to talk to you about this one. This is from The Independent. Apparently, just a little bit more reputable, I guess. But anyways, I had the title. Where was the title? Here's the title. Coronavirus. Japan and Germany confirm patients who caught disease did not visit China. Okay, I just want to say, I haven't read the article. We will read a line or two, but just go as far as to say that these people in Japan and Germany who are confirmed patients, okay, they may have not visited China, but it doesn't mean that people from China or people from other parts of the country that were in China didn't go back home or to the U.S. like they did and just let them in. Doesn't mean that, they didn't catch it by those people. They just didn't go to China. So you got to, look into that a little bit. So, but anyways, and if that's the case, and they didn't meet up with anybody else anywhere, I mean, that's a pretty far jump for an airborne, super virus. Pretty far. Anyways, I'm just stating or trying to, come up with something like, what if it's just not in China? What if it was a bioweapon? Because somebody mentioned this to me today. I thought it was kind of conspiratorial, very much so. But what if this thing has just been released to everybody? What if this was one of the Agenda 2030 practices or whatever that they wanted to use? Because, they did have this, this practice run 3 months prior to this outbreak. You saw this on Monday. And I'm doing this because I'm leaving you the link for this right here. Center for Health Security, the event 201 that we talked about on Monday. Okay, that is right here. Okay, and I started listening to it. I'm into only the first one, and it's very interesting. This is the exercise. These people talking about the exercise that happened supposedly prior to the outbreak, prior to Gates apparently funding some company that was let's see, own patents to it. So they don't really own the patents, but they funded it, and somehow or another, obviously they're in cahoots together. And we talked about the fact, what happened with Bill Gates's, 3 experimental drugs for the Ebola back, a year or 2 ago? Yeah, and the fact that, the woman 2 days ago who landed in the USA from the southern border had Ebola. Anyway, so these people in Germany and Japan, what if it was put in the aerosol spraying, the chemtrailing? I mean, how else are they going to get a world population forcibly to take these vaccines or get infected with coronavirus or whatever virus that they deem they want to put in there? I mean, I never understood. I guess I can't because I really, do not want to be in the head of somebody who would, devise or come up with a weapon to silently kill millions of people in some type of pandemic, or some biological weapon. I mean, we've heard about this for years. Our government, Russia's government, and I'm sure Chinese, we've heard about them, that this was possibly a release from one of their labs right in that city of Wuhan. I mean, yeah, what if it is put in there? There's a lot of things that are put in these aerosols. They're, well, medicines, barium, no, what is it? It wasn't barium. I don't know. It was some kind of dumbing down drug to make you kind of lethargic, just tired. You wonder why you're tired all the time between that and the frequencies that are beaming all around your freaking head and bouncing around everywhere. And Wi-Fi is just, you know, technology. It can be a detriment too. It could be very, very bad for your health. Technology is hardly ever used for good. It's used to make money, and then it's turned into a weapon. Any case. So, are they putting it in this chemist brand too? Are they putting it into aerosol brand? The geoengineering that they came out and claimed that they're doing now. They're going to start doing it like they haven't been doing it since the 70s, right? Anyways, folks, it's 2 days since we spoke on Monday, and it has almost tripled in the amount of people that, at least that they're claiming anyway. And another additional 50 deaths in 2 days. And some people claim that every 2 days or it will probably triple again. We'll see. Let's see. CDC update. What's this? I already told you about that. I think we're almost done with this coronavirus stuff. But here, I'll include the link again to this global look at the Wuhan, the Wuhan coronavirus. Let's see if I can refresh this. I mean, I think they just refresh it every day. It's supposed to be up to date by the minute, but yeah, the numbers didn't change. Still 133 and 6165. Let's see if it's changed. They still claim that there's only 5 in the U.S., and that remains to be the same. Yesterday we tried to, or 2 days ago we tried to find out where that was. Yeah, still in Chicago, Phoenix. Anyway. All right, so enough of the virus stuff. We haven't heard the last of it, that's for sure. And the other thing the CDC said in their update, their briefing today, was that these N95 masks that people are, that the world supposedly is running out of, they said it doesn't matter. The N95s won't help you. I mean, first of all, we talked about this on Monday, I believe, that the N95 masks, these masks that you put over your face and over your ears, little cloth ones, it wouldn't help. But maybe you could, because it gets into, your, how do you put that? Your membranes, the one, your eyes. You can get into your eyes, your nose, your mouth. I don't know about the ears, but maybe. I still think that could be a way to get it too. But you're going to need goggles too. Ones that have a pattern or something, and don't let any air into your eye area, your open eyes. You would have to at least do that and the N95. But in any case, CDC did not mention that. They just mentioned that the N95s, it doesn't matter whether you have them or not. They won't help. They didn't really explain why, but they just said it's not going to help you. I don't know if they were paid by somebody to say that, but whatever. Only because, we got some article here. Oh yeah, this one right here. Yeah, we'll go to this one. I don't know why. It's not in order tonight. End time headlines. This. Because somebody thought this was pretty funny. I find it pretty sad, that we have to resort to these things. So terrified passengers resorting to plastic bottles and bags to protect themselves against the coronavirus. Seriously, folks. These people have got bags over their head, over the child's head, and a mask. I mean, I guess nobody told them that if you put plastic bags over your head, you could possibly suffocate. I mean, you got this baby underneath this plastic. I mean, this is the fear that's going around now. I mean, between that and here in America, anyway, the impeachment and all this crazy stuff, not just that. I mean, we got, this stuff still going on too. The 7.7 huge earthquake that happened the other day. There's some pictures of, but I would figure, because it was right out here, along this ridge underneath the water, and why there wasn't a tsunami. I heard in one of the reports that there was threats of a small tsunami, but the yellow ones, there was only 3 alerts that were put out, or 3 bulletins, and 2 of the alerts said there's no tsunami warning. And one of them said that there is a slight chance of a small tsunami, but that may have passed. 7.7, man. I mean, there should have been one. So in any case, I mean, thank God that there wasn't. People weren't hurt. But that's all we're getting right now, except for pictures like this of holes in the ground. Yeah, but don't forget, folks, and we also have stuff still out there. We still have the, you have the Ebola in the Congo. And this Lassa fever, the outbreak that has killed 41 people in less than a week in Nigeria. They still have these things going on in Africa. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, folks. And don't just, take all this for granted. But, and I know some people have been talking about, martial law being a good thing. I'm sorry, folks, but martial law will never be a good thing. Not for our free people. Nope. You will be, given, curfews and other things. They'll come to your houses and take your guns, whether you did anything or not. If your name's on a list, they'll come get you and your guns. That's what they want. They want the whole population, the whole, slave class unarmed. And, who knows to what extent, to what degree they'll go to get that. Their Agenda 2030, their, manageable number of 500 million people on Earth. You'd have to kill a lot of people. So be alert, people, and stay tuned, because this could get bad. Maybe it'll disappear tomorrow. Maybe a bunch of Christians will just get together and pray it away. It's possible. It can happen. I believe that it can happen. Prayer, and especially when it's incorporated, I believe that we got Trump in that way. That's what I believe. Nobody expected it at all. Power of prayer. Yeah. So, yeah, other things. Yeah. I mean, we all know that. You remember this one? This is the one that our government said that they were going to go over, this plane that they were going to allow fly to China and pick up our, ambassadors, I guess, or diplomats and other U.S. citizens and bring them back. Well, this is from the Daily Mail. Officials in hazmat suits meet evacuation flight after it arrives in California Air Base from coronavirus epicenter Wuhan, as all 201 passengers prepare for final health screenings and 72-hour quarantine. Hopefully that'll be enough. 2 to 14 days. I know how people can get when they're quarantined and they know that they can't do something. They're going to try and do something. I mean, movie of the week type deal. All right, so passengers briefly passed screenings before departure in Wuhan and during a fuel stop in Alaska. Yeah, I've heard stories. I've seen, headlines that they are, screening people right on the planes. And it's good, but I mean, I think you should screen them before they get on the planes. I mean, what are you going to do if they have it while they're on the plane? You're going to give them a parachute? What are you going to do? You probably just have to just turn around, right? Right in the middle of the ocean. Okay. Yeah, and we won't get into why they would have to go around the coastlines and not across the Pacific. Anyways, flat earthers, round earthers. So let's see, the corona death toll in China stands at 132. We got it at 133 and 6,100. So this was yesterday's. I don't know where that came from. Oh, that's the plane landing. So there was something else. This one. Jan Markell came out with a couple series. It's a 2-week series about music in Christians' lives, right? And she had mentioned a few of them. I do remember Hillsong being one of them. And so this is a very disturbing video, and just will cement for me the fact that if I can help it, if I can remember, I will eliminate all of Hillsong Church music. A lot of these, I talked about this with somebody before I came on, on the air, and there's a couple. I'm not going to mention them anymore. I just say go to Jan Markell's Olive Tree Ministries site and go look for it. She, they're backed up. They're all in. Just look for something like. I can't really point it to you because I didn't go there, but she does talk about it. But I want to show you this. It's rising tide of darkness. I mean, indeed, I believe that it is. Here's the video. It's a 1 minute and 2 seconds, and when it comes to music, I mean, sometimes it's a very touchy subject with Christians. I mean, it's not just politics and taxes anymore. It's the music that they listen to or worship to in their churches or wherever they are, and that they can't agree on these things. And this actually tears some churches apart, believe it or not. Jan Markell talks about that with a couple guests that she has. So in any case, I mean, I can tell you of a few experiences that I've had, but for time's sake, I won't do it right now. Just to say that I don't need, a song to last 15 minutes or even 8 to 15 minutes and just repeat the lyrics over and over and over and over and over again for 15 minutes. I don't need to work myself into a frenzy in order to be Holy Spirit led. I don't need that type of setup to speak to the Holy Spirit. It takes far less than that. I mean, yeah, you got to be in the right frame of mind, and most of it is just a willing participant, and a childlike heart in mind, because you want to learn things, and the Holy Spirit is, very enthusiastic when it comes to that. It's always there when you want to learn. He'll teach you. But, we could talk about that some more some other time. I wish we could. It's a lot of other things too. These, so-called Christians. I'm sorry to say, but I'm not a Christian. I struggle every day to do things the right way, to be like Christ, to try and follow his way, because he came here and gave us an example to follow. I try to follow that. I am by no way anywhere near being Christ-like. That's what I strive for. That's all. And I don't know. Anyway, let's go with it. We'll listen to this. I don't know, folks. You think that's Christ-like? I've listened to Hillsong, and for a couple years now, they've definitely gone in another direction. Yeah. And so with that, folks, that's basically all I have. Thought I had some other stuff about Hillary and blah, 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 but we won't ruin it, will we? But anyway, I'll leave the links. Remember about this, man, and go to this event of 201 thing. Just listen to what they are saying, and the exercise that they did 3 months prior to this outbreak, and pray for each other, because we're going to need it. With all these agendas and things are just, well, Maranatha, everyone. God bless and peace out.